testing and trials are very crucial. Virtues are not born out of prayer. They're not born out of what? Out of miracles. For God to bring you to that place of having what we call the character of Christ fully found in you, He will have to project towards you different trials, different testings, different temptations. Even though there's the Spirit of Christ in you, the Spirit comes with the fruit of the Spirit. But that fruit of the Spirit has to become your experience. And for it to become your experience, God has to now expose you to different trials, different tests. And then when you go through those tests, one of the things that they can work out of you is patience. That means that nobody rose and became patient. If you met a man who is patient, he has been through many trials. You are seeing a man of many trials, many temptations, many situations. He said, knowing this, that one, the trying of your faith worketh patience. How are you going to be more patient? Is it by praying in tongues? You can pray in tongues for 100 days, non-stop. You will still leave the prayer meeting and go and slap somebody. God has to test you. Some of you have become better people because God has brought you into face-to-face with different situations that works patience. Some of you, there is a way you may want things to work, but sometimes God can intentionally hold it, trying your faith and producing patience, because faith also has patience. The Bible talks about Abraham. He's a man of faith, but he's also a man of patience. There is patience in faith. That means you keep believing even though it tarries. And a man that cannot believe even though it tarries might never be able to have God's result. He or she might never be able to have God's outcome. He said, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be what? Perfect and entire, wanting nothing, lacking nothing. Wanting nothing means lacking nothing. They want to bring you to that place of being perfect. The Greek is teleos. It means complete. He wants to bring you to that place of completeness. Now when we look at you, we are now seeing the virtue of God at work. But how is He bringing you to that place? Testings and trials. That is the part of growth. Nobody who wants to walk with God or do business with God can escape it. It is a system that proves man over time. Don't think that it was coincidence that when Jesus went into the wilderness, Satan met him there. If you read the scripture, you find out that it was no coincidence. The Bible said that then was he driven of the Holy Ghost into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. There will be no promotion until there's trials, and then you're able to now overcome or win or stand. There's no promotion. So for him to now enter into that next phase, he has to be proven. And the way to prove him is that then was Jesus led out of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. When we talk about trials, we are not just talking about the issue of sin. For God to hand the world to you, listen, the way God can do you, somebody can just send you 500 Ghana and God said, I give it to you. And you thought, oh, no problem. The next day, they just found some 1,000 Ghana. So we're going to drop it on the altar. Because for you to handle money, you must be free from money. Otherwise, money will become your God. So it has to be so that He tests your heart and delivers you from the power of the captivity of riches. If not, you can't handle it. When it comes, you will serve it. Because your path is different. Your growth order also will be different. Your testings will also be different. Because you had been trained to handle wealth. And the purpose of kingdom wealth is to deliver people, is to help people, is to rescue souls, and it's for the kingdom advancement. Anything besides that means that it is just not fulfilling its purpose. So God has to try you. So He said that let patience has its perfect work. Coming to that place of maturity, God will expose you to many things. Don't run away from trials. He said, count it all joy. If you see trials, you have found the love of God. You think you have found challenge, you will never grow until you face trials. Your patience will never be tested. Your love for your enemies will never grow until you found trials, your enemy. God now brings you close to your enemy when you should have killed him. David had 2 opportunities to kill Saul, and he refused. All is part of the qualification to become king after the order that God has established. When you come into face-to-face with different trials, when you have somebody who is insulting you and attempting to tear you down, count it all joy. When you go somewhere, they are hating you. Nobody likes you. They are talking you down. It is part of the testing of your faith. The testing of your faith brings your faith to a perfect place. Your faith will not be strong until it is tested. And then when it is tested, you must be able to win the testing of your faith. If you don't win, you have to start again. or they have to give you another opportunity. There is your current level of faith, what you have believed God for. There's your current level of patience in faith. He has to break your limits. Because for some of us, if God says, I'm coming, like so, by the time that He doesn't come, you would have offered a sacrifice, or you would have done something different. But He has to build into you patience. Don't be distracted by the trials. I found out a lot of people are distracted by the trials. You are coming from a family background where addiction to alcohol is an issue there. All right, when you see alcohol, your mouth is salivating. So God now wants to help you. We want to now work you out of it. What will happen? You now show up at your friend's house and then they have set it up. They will say you are invited. Now listen. What is God trying to achieve? What God is trying to achieve is to bring you to that place that you are able to now say no. You are able to master that desire. So the thing of interest is not that you say, oh, I drank it. A lot of people say, I drank it. So that is not where God's interest is. The thing of interest is to bring you to that place of mastery. God wants to bring you to that place of mastery. So His interest is not the way you are thinking, I drank it. No, trust me, He's going to bring you to that same place again, because He wants you to overcome it. Until that happens, growth has not taken place. Add to knowledge temperance. How are you going to add to it? By bringing you situations that will help you to develop. And that is why you must love trials, because without trials, there will be no mastery. Without the testing of your faith, there will be no mastery. Pathway to growth is trials, testings, situations, and things that will bring you to that place of perfection. So people cannot handle people talking about them. God will let people talk about you, sir, until the time will come down. No, you want to become a great man, you want to become like maybe you want to become a politician, you want to become an influencer, you want to be a man of God. Some of you are singing, you want to become like Sinach and all that. If you are okay, well, you go and do this yourself there. So God has to show you how you can keep your composure. He has to help you. So He has to now give you social media now. All your friends will be social media. Negative comment. So God has to help you deal with that thing until when they talk, you can watch it like that, read all the piercing comments, and you still laugh and you move on. If not, you can't even talk again. I tell you. So trials are very important. There are some people that God has to let you be hungry. You have never been hungry before. Some people, they are come to a place that they have so praised them all their lives. So if you go and say something, you even try to correct the person, you don't love me. Because God say, oh, you are so amazing, you are so wonderful. Everybody, like, they worship her. With such people, it's a canker, it's a crisis. Whether you are coming from a place that you have never suffered in your life, God must create the suffering for you. Because otherwise you won't understand the happenings in people's life. You can't relate. You'll be talking from higher mountain. I don't know why some people, they are like this. I don't know why. You don't know. We have to let you know. Because you don't know, so God must let you know why. After you know, when you hold him, I said that, God is helping all of us. We are all sustained by grace. Your communication now will be in alignment with the love of God. When you don't know, there's a way that you talk. You were born into worlds, you were born into some things, and then you come and meet it, and then you see somebody, the way you think and the way you talk, you can't relate. It won't work. You can't come to that level to understand them. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. We have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities. That there's an infirmity, there's the way that men are formed. And he's saying that you don't have an high priest that cannot be touched. He has been hungry before, so he knows. If someone has not been hungry, like women, the men, we have not given birth before. So if a woman is going to give birth, then you don't know, like they say that you must walk. If you have not been there, you won't understand. So what God will do is that He has to bring you to that place. He said, we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, like as we are, yet without sin. So what is that? He said that He was in all points tempted. Jesus got hungry, He was beaten, He was insulted, He was accused. He knows all of that the way it is. He can relate with you. And God wants you also to come to the point of being able to relate with everybody else. That's why He said that when somebody is overtaken by sin, in Galatians chapter 6, He said that in spirit of what? Meekness, restore such an one, considering yourself, otherwise you also would be tempted. If you go with high-mindedness, because they found out, oh, this guy cannot relate with this issue. When he was talking to them about how to treat strangers, that they should love them and be good to them and be kind to them, He said, because remember that you were also what? A stranger in another man's land. So don't forget the pain you went through and everything, and how you were looking for help. So when he has prospered you too, when you see strangers, treat them well. It's a statement, it's an exact statement that God made to Israel. He said, thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. So part of their being strangers was that he was trying to build in them the ability to host strangers, trials. He said, count it all joy. The people that cannot forgive, they can't forgive easily. God has to bring you continuously to that place until you'll be able to now forgive. And you didn't know that it is really happening to you until you find out that it has happened to you. It's the orchestration of God. He's dealing with bitterness and unforgiveness in your heart, because it is a canker. If he's not able to deal with it, it opens you up continuously to the devil. It becomes what we call a weakness that darkness can exploit to their advantage. So God has to expose you constantly, and the attempt is to bring you to that place that you can be free. Anyone who is bitter and unforgiving is not free. You should be able to easily forgive. You should be able to easily forget. Someone says, I'll forgive you, but I will never forget. And you say, you have not forgiven. When you forgive it, you forget. It doesn't mean that it's not in your memory. It might be in your memory, but you are not using it as a reference point. It is the place of growth and maturity.